When you were a kid, summer lasted forever. Now a whole year vanishes before you finish saying its name. You're not imagining it. Almost everyone feels time speeding up as they age. And for over 100 years, scientists have been trying to figure out why. The answer is stranger than you're just busy. It turns out time didn't speed up at all. Your brain just stopped paying attention. Let's start back in 1897. A French philosopher named Paul Janet had a simple, almost annoying idea. He said the length of any stretch of time is measured against how long you've already been alive. Think about that for a second. When you're 2 years old, 1 year is half your entire life. It's enormous. When you're 50, 1 year is 1/50th of your life. A tiny sliver. So the same calendar year feels smaller and smaller because you're comparing it to a bigger and bigger pile of years behind you. Janet called it proportional time. By his math, the summer you remember from age 10 and the decade that disappears in your 40s take up roughly the same slice of your felt life. That's a brutal little equation, but it's not the whole story. Around the same time, an American psychologist named William James was chewing on the same problem, and James noticed something the math alone couldn't explain. He said time feels long when it's full of new things. When you were a child, almost everything was new. Your first day of school, the first time you saw the ocean, the first time you tasted something sour and made that face. Every day was packed with first times. In your brain, James argued, records new experiences in vivid detail. It lays down thick, rich memories. Now think about an ordinary Tuesday as an adult. You wake up, you take the same route to the same place, you eat roughly the same lunch, you come home. Your brain has seen all of this before, so it does the lazy, efficient thing. It barely records any of it. Whole weeks get compressed into almost nothing, because nothing about them was worth saving. Here's the unsettling part. When you look back, you don't measure how long a period was. You measure it by how many memories you have from it. A year stuffed with new experiences feels long when you look back. A year of routine feels like it barely happened. So as you get older and life gets more repetitive, you're not living faster. You're just saving fewer copies. Scientists wanted to test this, not with old people remembering childhood, but with the brain in the actual moment. So they turned to fear. A neuroscientist named David Eagleman had a hunch. In moments of terror, people always say the same thing. It felt like everything went into slow motion. A car crash that lasted 2 seconds feels like 10. Eagleman wanted to know if time actually slowed down in the brain, or if it just felt that way afterward. So he built something a little insane. He took volunteers to an amusement park ride called the suspended catch air device. You're hauled up about 150 feet, then you're dropped. No rope, no harness pulling you, just free fall into a net below. 3 seconds of pure screaming terror. Now, if time really slowed down inside their brains, the volunteers should be able to see faster during the fall. So Eagleman strapped a small screen to each person's wrist. The screen flashed numbers slightly too fast to read normally. His bet was simple. If terror really cranks up your perception, you'll be able to read the too fast numbers on the way down. They couldn't. Nobody could read the numbers. Their eyes and their brains were running at totally normal speed. But here's the twist. When the volunteers were asked afterward how long their own fall lasted, they overestimated it by a third. Their own 3-second drop felt like 4. So time didn't actually slow down. What happened was this. In a terrifying moment, a part of your brain called the amygdala kicks into overdrive. It starts laying down memories at an incredible density, way more detail than normal. And when you look back at all that dense memory, your brain assumes it must have taken a long time, because that's the only rule it knows. More memory equals more time. It's the exact same trick, just running in reverse. Childhood feels long for the same reason a car crash feels long. Both are crammed with vivid, detailed memories. And a routine adult year feels short for the same reason a calm afternoon does. There was almost nothing worth recording. So your sense of time isn't a clock at all. It's a memory counter. And that changes what you can actually do about this. Because if the problem is too few new memories, the fix is obvious. Do new things. It sounds like a fridge magnet, but the science is pointing right at it. Researchers have found that novelty genuinely unfamiliar experiences makes a stretch of time feel longer in memory. A week traveling somewhere you've never been feels longer than a month of your normal commute. Not because the week had more hours, it had the same hours. It just left more behind. There's even a name for the everyday version of this, the oddball effect. In lab studies, when people are shown a string of identical images, and then one surprising, different one, that odd image is consistently judged to have stayed on screen longer. It didn't, it just grabbed more of the brain's attention. So the brain logged it as lasting longer. Your whole life is running on the oddball effect. The odd days, the new days, the frightening days, the first days, those are the ones that stretch. Which leaves us with a quietly hopeful idea. The reason childhood felt endless wasn't that you were young, it's that you were paying attention to everything, because everything was new. You can't go back to being 7, but you can do the thing 7-year-old you did without trying. Take the different road home, learn the thing you keep saying you'll learn, talk to the stranger, notice the ordinary afternoon, instead of sleepwalking through it. Every new thing you do is your brain pressing record again. Time isn't really speeding up. You just stop giving it anything to remember. So give it something. That's how you make a year feel long again.